There's no time. We have to get through this because we are the Furlo Capital Real Estate Podcast where we got to go fast because we don't have time.
Okay.
Oh man, I already lost time now explaining why we have to go fast. This is trouble. Anyways, Furlo Capital Real Estate Podcast where we dive into the intricacies of passive real estate investing. And our mission is to, as quickly as possible, equip people to invest wisely in both properties and residents so that together we can quickly build wealth while improving housing. I'm James, and quickly, this is my wife, Jessie.
Oh my gosh, that intro made me kind of like,
oh man. This is how we save time. Time is money.
Talk really fast.
Let's go. Let's go.
You're just going to put this on like triple speed and be like one of those.
Isn't that how you normally listen to podcasts?
One of those ads that's like.
That should be one of my. I actually didn't write that down. Oh man. Keep going. Yeah.
Oh my word. Yeah, that actually really annoys me when they do the fine print, all the details, and they speed it up so you can barely understand it. Our daughter actually, we were watching a commercial or something, and she was like, "How do they talk that fast?" I was like, "I don't think they do. I think they just speed it up."
Volume.
She was like, "Oh, that's a good idea." I was like, "No, it's not. It's just to squeeze the marrow out, and no one can actually understand it."
Yes.
So hopefully we're not just speeding through life.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to take our time, and we're going to let you, we're going to slow down. Let you soak in these time-saving tips.
Exactly.
And I got to be honest, I had this idea because I was like, passive real estate investors, they're busy people. They don't have a lot of time. Maybe we can give them some tips on how to save time. And I started doing research. I'll be honest, like all the tips and stuff, they're pretty basic at the end of the day.
It's like be organized.
Yeah, time block.
Don't multitask.
Exactly. You get it. So instead, what I'm going to share is what I do, which I think saves time. I did not list on there, listen to podcasts and audiobooks at 1.5 speed. That would have been a good one. So that's my first one.
Honestly,
that's how I save time. I go fast. No? All right.
To me, there's a balance because it's like, yes, you got through more content in the same amount of time.
Right.
But is your brain actually processing all of that information
100%.
that you're doing?
Yep.
And for me personally, it just doesn't. I need it to be a little bit slower so I can chew on it and contemplate it and think about it.
Yeah.
If it's just like buzzing in my ears, I can't process it.
That's
fair.
Which I think is one of the things that's going to be a general takeaway from all of this is like, you got to know yourself. Like what works for you, what doesn't. And so I'm going to share things that I do that I have found saved me time.
Yeah.
And maybe these will be insightful, maybe not.
Yeah.
So take them for what they're worth.
All right.
The first thing that I know about myself is that I'm a morning person. Mm-hmm. That morning time is when awesomeness happens for me. Yeah. And so I do a lot of things to make sure that I get my morning time. Mm-hmm. And so it's like real quick. First thing, my phone is not in our bedroom.
That's true.
It is all the way across the house in the living room.
Yep.
And so I do not wake up and first thing check emails or social feeds. As a matter of fact, I don't have any social apps, networking apps on my phone. Mm-hmm. No Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever else there is, Threads. I feel like I'm missing a big one, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. I'm not on it. I do have accounts. I do visit on my computer, and but not on my phone.
Yeah.
I don't have any video apps on my phone. I don't even have YouTube on my phone.
Interesting.
I think that's a big thing that I do that just stops the, the TikTok,
the death
doom scrolling, whatever. I just don't. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And there are times when it's highly annoying because there's something I want to do or a video I want to watch. I'm like,
you just have to wait.
Yeah, and I think that's okay. Another thing I do is first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I drink a cup of water, and that helps me get going. I'm sure if I was a coffee person, I would do coffee instead, but I'm not, and because I'm just naturally that kind of guy.
So it saves you time because it gets you going quicker.
Yeah,
you're not just groggy and
helps me
sitting
wake
around.
up faster.
Huh.
Yeah, I would say by the time I get out of bed, walk across the house, I'll grab my iPad because it has like the next things I'm going to do on it. Get a cup of water, and then I'm headed into my office/garage area. The first thing I do on my iPad is I have an app called Readwise that surfaces highlights from previous books that I've read, and I read through those. I do about 12 a day.
12 highlights?
Yes. 12 highlights. Yeah, you can set how many you get per day. I think like you can
Interesting.
do as many as like low as 2 or 4 or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I need more than that. I read too much for it to be 4. And so I do that. What else do I do in the morning? I do some affirmations because I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Just read through lists and affirmations. I mean, it is that, but it's not like you are amazing. It's more.
It's more like goal setting,
things,
reviewing goal
not even
setting,
that.
and
Like it's just things I want to remember. Like discipline equals freedom. You know, like these truths.
so that
I've got a section talking about my faith. Here's what I believe. So I want that regular reminder. I've got a section talking about money. Here are my money beliefs that I want to remember. I've got a section on discipline. Here's what it means to be disciplined. I've got a section on working with other people. Here's how to work well with other people. I've got a section on just like business concepts and ideas that I want to keep on the forefront of my mind. And I got a whole section on communication. That's like
and you read those every single day.
They're broken up into sections. So I don't read the entire thing, but I read sections. So throughout the week, I hit all of them.
And how did draw the tie for me on how that helps you save time?
Gets my mindset right. So I'm not wandering throughout the day. It helps me to focus.
So if you have particular meetings or particular tasks later, because you reviewed your affirmations or these mindsets, you're like, you know what? I'm going to prioritize this other thing. I'm going to do that first, and this other task or event or whatever might get pushed because I have this viewpoint about life.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I might need to adopt that.
You're welcome.
Because that's like when I get into the office, that's one of the first things I do is I kind of like, I have a running planner essentially of like, okay, these are the ongoing things. These are the most important things. These are the things that can wait. And then I have another list elsewhere of like, it would be amazing if I got to these things at some point. But I think I would prioritize them differently if I really thought, okay, what's my big picture goal here? What do I believe I'm doing and why I'm doing it?
Yeah.
You know, I may prioritize differently.
Yeah. And by the way, I do also set quarterly goals and I look at those. And then within the quarterly goals, I set weekly goals, which then lead into daily tasks.
Sure.
And those are like my big rocks. And then I have, like most people, I've got 15 of the little things that kind of fit all around it.
Yeah.
But it helps me prioritize, which ultimately helps me save time, or at least spend my time as well as I can spend it.
Right.
And ultimately, if I do those big rocks and those things, it leads to time saved in the long run, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. For me personally, I like if it's a workout day, sometimes I will just then go straight into a workout. Sometimes I'll work for an hour or two before doing my workout. Kind of depends on where my energy levels are at, or if I've got some tasks that I want to, do. Which you'll notice what I haven't done yet. Haven't checked my email.
Oh yeah, you haven't checked your email or messages.
Yeah. Now usually that's because it's just starting at like 5 a.m, and
People
no one
aren't.
needs to reply right away.
Yeah.
So I'm good. So that's part of it. It's like I'm
Interesting.
tackling the big stuff first.
Huh.
Yeah.
That would be, speaking of like working out, or perhaps, I don't know, I'm just thinking through my own schedule. It would be a slippery slope for me if I didn't work out right away, because I've done that before. And then I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to squeeze in anywhere else during the day.
And that's what I found for me is that workout needs to happen before 8 a.m.
Okay, so
after 8, it's not going to work for me anymore.
At 5:30 or 6. It may be at 7, but it happens within that initial block still.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm like you, right? If I've tried the whole, I kind of get tired at 3 p.m. Maybe I'll just wait to work out then. And for some reason, I get to 3 p.m. I'm like, man, I don't feel like
I'm
working
still
out.
tired.
Or I'm like, oh, I got to finish up this other project real quick.
Right.
And an hour later, I'm still finishing up and go, oh no, I missed my workout. Thing. And so, we're good. And so, so I find I have to do it in the morning, otherwise it doesn't happen, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. And otherwise, I skip my workout, which does save me time, I guess, but that's not worth it. Okay, another thing. I have very few notifications that go off in my life. Like for example, I don't have email notifications. That's just not something I do. You'll have to adjust that. Because I think it was 4-Hour Work Week way back in the day. This was pre-kids. And he talked about shutting all that stuff off, and I did. And that's been a game changer for me. So I have very few apps that actually give me notifications. Most of them are communication stuff.
I need like a gauge. So in an average day, like 24-hour period,
Okay.
how many notifications would pop up on your watch, phone, or computer? Are we talking like 2, or are we talking like 30?
I'm trying to think. For my phone today and on my watch, one came through.
Okay.
And it was a lead that we got.
Which is great.
Yes.
It's not like this news alert. Just blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, 0 news alerts. And that today was a very low day, to be honest. But I mean, it's less than 20.
Interesting.
Throughout the day. Now, obviously, if it's a phone call, I guess technically, I don't know, we're going to count that as a notification?
I wouldn't. More it's like
text message, which I didn't get any today. It was kind of a weird day. So
you didn't get any text.
Well, I guess
today?
I got the one from you, which I didn't see that notification. You had to tell me about it because I wasn't checking. Yeah,
super weird.
I'm just like, yeah, I don't.
Huh. So, what is it? Is it texts or emails or like when because stuff pops up on your watch? What is that?
Usually going to be a text message of some sort, or like a Slack message from someone at work.
Oh, okay, someone's working and you're getting. Yeah, you're in the loop.
Yeah. Or the latest hot news items.
See, this is helpful to me because I don't know. In my brain, I was always like, what is he looking at? Like, is that some sports notification or some like breaking news?
Nope. No, I don't get any of that.
Apple is now releasing the whatever.
Well, yeah, I get that. No, I don't get those either.
Yeah. Interesting.
No, yeah.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, it's all going to be communication type stuff.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I have no idea how many notifications.
They
annoy me, so I turn them all
calendar
off.
events, I guess. I'll get notifications for calendar events.
Which I feel like
is important to get.
Yeah, that's important.
Yeah.
And also not necessarily disruptive. If you're like, if I knew I had a meeting, like I would like to know when that starts.
Yeah.
So that I will be there.
Yes. Another thing, I am currently in progress for this one. I've always been striving for inbox 0.
Whoa.
And I'm giving that up. And instead, I am going for inbox never.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing. You're giving your control up to somebody else.
This is a classic buy back your time type of thing. So letting someone else do it. She has fully taken over one of my inboxes. We're working on another one, and we haven't even touched the third one yet. Gosh. So
see, to me, that sounds like, it either sounds like you have this like political, I don't know, you have a assistant. What is the term for that? Where it's like they do all of your communication, like a publicist
PR?
or PR. Like it sounds super fancy.
It's not.
Or it seems like you're like royalty who's like, oh yes, I don't talk with the commoners. Like I have my scribe pen that for me. I don't know. That to me it feels like, oh, that's fancy.
Yeah, and it really only works if you're a business owner, because if you're an employee, like, sorry man, you're stuck with it. But that's one of the ways that I save time is I do a lot less emails now.
I wonder if I could get away with that.
Yeah, there's a training process though, so that takes more time. But
that one seems to me like it's got a huge benefit once you figure it out.
Yes.
But the learning curve to get to that point is like, because you want them to do the initial response as if you were doing it.
Yeah. So what we'll do is if she knows what to do, she'll just do it. But if she doesn't, which at first was all of them, she's like, I don't know what to do. We have a folder for that. Or it's like, what do I do? And then when we meet, we run through those emails. And I'll bullet point or just tell her, hey, here's what I would say. Here's the reply.
Yeah.
And then she drafts it, and then I check it and give feedback.
Okay.
And then eventually
she
doesn't need to ask. She just does the draft.
Yeah.
And then I still check that and go, oh, okay, you got to add this or that.
Interesting.
And then she learns for certain things like, oh, these are a receipt email. Like I forward that on to the accountant or whatever. These are newsletter emails. Those go in the newsletter box. I don't have very many of those, but that's the process.
Is there like a, I don't know, like a beginner version of something like this where I'm thinking like this person, they're essentially going to go through your inbox and delete anything you don't care about, unsubscribe from stuff that you got signed up for, and then essentially organize into those folders.
Eventually I think AI is going to do it all.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to get there and learn your patterns for you.
That'd be cool.
And make drafts and stuff.
Which it kind of like Gmail kind of does that a little bit. And they're like, these ones are priority. These ones are spam. These,
yeah.
You know, a little bit.
No, I think the big hack is don't check your email all the time. Find 2 slots throughout the day and commit to like, and they don't have to be forever, like, a half hour where you go for this half-hour chunk. It's like I have a meeting with me in my email and I'm just going to work through
however
that
hard
email.
you get.
And that's all that you do. And ideally you group them together with like types of emails. You're not just going top to bottom. You're like, oh, this is from this group. I'm gonna, or this type or whatever. Because apparently, like, the problem with email, besides there just being a lot of it, is you're constantly doing context switching throughout each email, and it is genuinely exhausting.
Yeah.
And so so you want to reduce that. And then the problem if you're checking it all the time is you never actually give yourself the bandwidth to reply to emails. And so they're just in the back of your mind, just like, oh yeah, I got to respond to this. I got to do this. You're thinking of a response and and now you're using brain power for not answering emails instead of what you're working on. So if you're going to do email yourself, really, really, really as hard as you can, pick like a morning and an afternoon slot and just like, yep, this is when I'm responding to emails. And then like, but have it be a focused time where you do it. And you'd actually be pretty shocked. At first it's going to take you a while to get through it, but then if you stick to that schedule, like you'll get to a point where you go, yeah, you know what? I only got to spend like 10 minutes each time doing it because I'm already caught up.
That seems like a more realistic time-saving tip than getting to inbox never.
Yeah. I was saying here's what I'm doing. The other thing you can do is don't use your inbox as your to-do list.
Ooh, yeah.
So like what the really smart people do, we'll put Cal Newport in this camp, is he'll take an email and he might copy and paste that entire email into his to-do box. And then so he has the context of the email, but now it sits on his to-do list.
Interesting. So
it
doesn't go back to the email.
Yeah, and you can, depending on your software, you can link to that email. You can grab the link to it so that you can then later click reply it. But for him, then what he can do is once he's processed the inbox is now empty, but he didn't reply to anything yet. Then he can go back and say, okay, I'm going to group these together, and I'm going to think through the replies. I'm going to do whatever work needs to be done to do the reply. I'm going to schedule a time to reply to this email or do whatever the thing is. And now it sits on his to-do list and on his calendar, not in his inbox. And then when he's ready, he can open it up, write his reply, whatever, and then click that link, open an email, copy and paste the reply in, and then boom, you're off to the races, off to the next one.
All right.
And so that saves you time and cognitive powers.
Email.
There are certain things that I do not intrinsically enjoy, one of which is mowing yards. And so for us, we hired a yard guy, and it genuinely saves a lot of time. And like we love it every single time. We go, yes, he mowed it. You may enjoy mowing the lawn. Great. Awesome. But like, is there something, dear listener, that you don't like?
Yeah.
You can pay to have someone do it.
Sure.
The general rule of thumb is if it costs less than half of what you make per hour, hire it out. That's the general rule. So if you make $50 an hour, you should be willing to pay someone $25 an hour to do something for you, just to get her done.
All right.
Even if you're salaried and it's not like you can work extra hours and make it up, it's not worth it. Hire it out. So if you hate doing dishes or whatever household chores, you can do it. And some guys take this to the extreme.
Yeah.
They hire a house manager who does all the stuff. They do the dishes, the laundry, the cleanup. They fill the cars with gas. They get them washed.
Yeah.
They do the lawn, like
food.
They do, yeah. So like that's, some people go to that extreme. We're not there. But
in certain areas.
Yeah. But the question is, what's this thing that might be taking time that you don't love? Again, if you love mowing the lawn, great. Have fun. Treat it as relaxed time. Awesome. But if not, dude, just hire someone. Save the time. Ours was the yard. I love it. One thing that this is a semi-recent change that I made. Well, semi-recent. So I now use Calendly. No, sorry. I do use that. But I use Fantastical on my Mac along with To-Do List.
I haven't heard of Fantastical.
Todoist. Yeah, it's very similar to
Todoist?
Todoist.
Not to-do list, Todoist.
Doist. Yes. I use that as a to-do list. And then Fantastical is a calendar.
Okay.
But what's cool about it is the two of them work together. So I can create a to-do list, give it a date and a time, and it will show up on my calendar as a block.
That's nice.
Yes. And so I now have those two things together. They used to be separate apps. And the way I used to work was I didn't work on it until it was on my calendar. Like if it's in my, and I literally had an extra calendar that was like things to do. And it was always brown because I don't know, that was my color. And so I would add stuff to my calendar and then I knew to do it. But I used to have another to-do list where it was just my dumping ground of like, okay, things I need to do, but I don't have it scheduled yet. So it's just holding there. Now those two things are one and the same. It's awesome because what I used to have to do was if I finished a task on my calendar, I would delete that item and then I would go over to my to-do list and check that off.
You had to go to both.
And it was like, I had two sources of truth. It was hard. Now I just have the one source of truth because I can see.
This is making me think of like, what do I do exactly?
You use the Reminders app.
I use the Reminders app.
Which I think is insane.
Even if I'm having a meeting with someone, that goes in my calendar.
Right. Me too.
But if it's just a task, I don't schedule it on my calendar. There's not a particular time that I would do it. That's what when I do my weekly look at things, I do look at the to-do list, and that's where I plug things in to like, okay, this one I'm going to do this day.
Yeah. How do you track that?
I use a actual sheet of paper that has the days on it, like a planner.
Yeah, that works.
Because I don't know, for me, the tactile, being able to cross things off and put an arrow.
Yeah, I don't do any of that.
I love that.
Mine's all streamlined system, all integrated. Yeah. Interesting. So that's what I do. I find not only just helps, I have a single source of truth, but I can see everything together. And in general, it's my to-do list is part of my calendar. I got to schedule it so I know here's why I'm doing it. And I can run into problems where if I'm working on a project, like here's an example. I was working on something 2 days ago and I blocked out 4 hours to get it done and it took me 9. Oh, man. So a bunch of stuff got bumped.
Yeah.
But I knew it and was like, and I made the conscious choice at the time when I hit the time to go, no, I need to hunker down and just finish this thing. And I knew the stuff that I was bumping back and it was fine. Part of it was before I did that, I used to just, I have more to do than I can get done. And I would go through this daily heartache of like, oh no, I'm not going to get to everything. And now I have a lot less of that. I have the heartache all at once at the beginning part of the week because I schedule it out and I go, dang, I have 20 things and I only have slots for 6. All right, I'll figure this out.
Interesting.
So that's one of the things that I do. I also, for the most part, I monotask.
Yeah.
I have a single monitor. And it's just one thing at a time. That's for the most part. That's not 100% true. But like I don't have my email just open, waiting to see and check in. I don't have my calendar just kind of open. Whatever I'm working on, that's what I'm working on. I might have multiple windows related to that, but
sure. But
that's
it's that
the
one
thing.
project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I listen to music. It kind of depends on the type of work I'm doing. I find sometimes it helps. I find, how about this for weird? If I'm doing creative projects, I actually like to have music.
Interesting.
But if I'm doing more just like, I just got to hunker down and get this task done, like no music, just focus.
The only thing I can have music playing for is if I'm doing some sort of like, I'm folding these pages in half, or I'm cutting these things out, or like,
I'll listen to a podcast if I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So the other thing is meetings, scheduling meetings, going back and forth. I don't do any of that. I use Calendly. I literally give people a link. Find a time. And there are only times that I am willing to meet with people. And as a general rule, they're all in the afternoon. I don't have any time slots in the morning. Because again,
that's when you do your best
That's my
work.
maker time. And so I try to protect it. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't care. I will, for the most part, that's what I do. And, but yeah, it helps with all the back and forth stuff, which I really like. And again, I try to push most of them to the afternoon. If I'm not in a meeting, I oftentimes the afternoon is a time for me to recharge and relax for the evening push. So, but yeah, I mean, sometimes just straight up I take a nap, and I get it. It's like, that doesn't sound like saving time. It's like, yeah, I know I'm saving energy so that I can make the most of my time later on throughout the day. Also, I thought this is, I like to think this one's not in a lot of them. I chew gum in the afternoon. That helps pick up my energy levels and save me time.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
It makes you work faster or more diligently.
I
mean,
we totally does.
When I was teaching, we used to give kids a piece of gum before they would take like standardized testing and things, because it stimulates your mind.
See?
And that little,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my there's the secret hack. If you struggle in the afternoon,
when you're starting to hit that slump,
get some sugar-free gum and just chomp on it, and you'll be shocked at how well it works. And it stops you from snacking, which I also needed. That was the original reason why I started doing it, because I would snack in the afternoon, and I was like, dude, these are like just and they weren't good calories.
Yeah, it's just
and so
snacking.
I was like, and I found if you're chewing a piece of gum, you don't want to chew any food, because it kind of solves that problem. But then I also found like, dang, it keeps me awake.
I'm awake.
Yeah. So chew some gum. That's my secret tip. Didn't see that coming, did you?
Yeah.
Here's something relatively new that I've started, which is doing a shutdown checklist. And so this really is coming down to like managing energy, not time, but that's okay. So in the evening, I'll do things like I'll stretch, I'll log my calories because it's important. I'll take a look at my goals. And then I'll look at tomorrow's events and tasks that I have to do. And I find for me, when I consistently do that, and I'll admit I'm not always consistent, but when I consistently do it, it just helps me relax in the evening to know everything's going to be fine in the morning. It's all taken care of. I can genuinely get to bed, sleeper faster. I can get to sleep faster, and which then keeps me rested, which then lets me wake up earlier, save time, and make the most out of my time.
Yeah.
And I find some people will do it at the end of their workday, right? And, it's before they head home from their job. They'll spend that last 15 minutes like, okay, let me process all this stuff, make sure everything's in its place. I got a plan for tomorrow, and then I can shut down and then go home and be fully present. That's kind of the idea. I do mine at the end of the day, but...
that's what I do with work things.
Yeah,
I don't
fine.
necessarily have
And
one
mine are
for
so,
personal items.
interwoven that
right.
it's hard to do them. Okay, last thing that I do, is that right? Yes, the last thing that I do, which I think saves me a ton of time, I'm a checklist guy. I love checklists.
Yeah.
And anything that can be a checklist probably is a checklist. All the business stuff, right? If we're moving in a new tenant, moving out a tenant, have a maintenance thing, I got checklists for all that. So I don't even have to think about it. We're just boom, 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 we're rolling through it. For these podcasts, I got for all of it, I got a checklist. Yeah. I even have a checklist that says record discussion that afterwards I will check off. And anytime someone's like, well, what do I do next? I'm like, go look at the checklist. That saves a ton of time. I even have stuff. So my morning and evening routines, guess what?
Checklist.
I have a checklist. I know I'm going to open my iPad and bonus thing. On an iPhone, you can set different foci. And so for mine, from 5 to 7 is I have a screen where it's just the apps that I use for my morning routine.
Really?
That's it. That's on the screen. Nothing else shows up until 7 o'clock. And so I know I'm going to tap this app, and then this app, and then this app. And the fourth app is the one where is the checklist where I go, yeah, cool, boom, 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 boom. Did a bunch of stuff because I want to I get momentum going into it. But yeah, dude, checklists. That's a big deal. I use ClickUp for a lot of the business stuff, and then whatever other stuff because you can create templates, right? That's the thing that I wanted,
right?
Because I want it to repeat every single day.
Yeah, you use the same checklist if it's the same task in a different circumstance.
Correct. Yeah. I think Apple's reminders works pretty well because you can have it repeat every single day, and you can kind of treat that as a checklisty type of thing. So I
have certain things repeat that I'm like, okay, did that.
Yeah. You and I, we have our weekly meeting of life where we go over stuff and we go, we've got our checklist. Here are the things. Yeah. We don't necessarily do everything on the list, but we at least want that reminder of oh yeah. Let's look at this thing together. So. Dude, checklist, that saves me. It takes a little work to set it up, but once it's set up, like not only does it just like you can go fast because you're going through it, but it frees up your mind because you're not trying to remember all the stuff.
Yep.
And it's super helpful for training later, which is what I'm experiencing now, which is awesome.
Yep.
So that's what I do. That's how I actually save time every single week as a real estate investor, or just as a human, I suppose. Hopefully found some of those helpful. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, and really it is like save time, but in brackets, prioritize time well.
Yeah. Or just use your time well.
Yeah. Use your time well.
Yeah. Is probably, which ultimately does save time. Yes. But,
Sure.
And hopefully that's more useful than just the classic, do time blocking and Pomodoro technique or whatever they call it to give Lena sleep. Like, we all know these things.
Actual examples.
Yeah, so that's how I do it. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up wherever, and I'm happy to share more about how it is that I do it. If you're like, man, James has so much free time, no wonder he finds great deals. I want to know more about those great deals that he has. You can check out our great deals at Furlo.com. Take all the time you want to check it out. So there you go. Again, hopefully it was helpful, and have a great day.